Hey everybody, my name's Kyle, and this is Track by Track, music reviews, news, and commentary. Peter Gabriel is set to release his first new album in more than 20 years in 2023, and today, coinciding with the first full moon of the year, the first single has emerged. There's still no release date for the album itself, just the title, I.O., and the promise that additional music will come along with the next full moons. Those will be February 6th, March 7th, and April 6th, so be sure to mark your calendars. As for the first full moon flavor, Gabriel has unleashed the curiously titled Panopticom. Always fixated on technology in the future, PG explains that the Panopticom is a concept for what he describes as, quote, an infinitely expandable, accessible data globe. He doesn't offer much detail on what it all means, though it sounds like some kind of cross between blockchain and the metaverse, like Peter Gabriel's version of The Matrix. I don't think you need to know all of that or try to understand it all before you can listen to and enjoy the song, Panopticom. If anything, the track feels like the introduction to what may be some kind of Black Mirror-esque concept album. Perhaps a study of how technology and constant connectedness has changed us as a society and where it could all be leading. And while Gabriel's description leans heavily into leveraging this connectedness for deeper understanding, the lyrics in the song, as well as the title itself, seem to relate more to themes of surveillance. Perhaps subsequent tracks from the album will flesh out these concepts further. For now, perhaps we should think of Panopticom as the theme song from the movie. In any case, it's great to hear Peter Gabriel reunited with band members David Rhodes, Tony Levin, and Manu Katché, not to mention the legendary Brian Eno on synths. The track actually feels like very familiar territory. This could easily have come from 2002's Up, as it seems to share a similar sonic palette. I actually hear rhythmic echoes of some of that album's songs, particularly the opening track, Darkness. There's also a subtle melodic callback to 1992's Digging in the Dirt that pops up a couple times. I think you'll find even more Easter eggs upon repeat listens. I've seen several mentions of this being Peter Gabriel's comeback song, and I do bristle a bit at what that implies. He has come back, yes, that is accurate, but Panopticom is certainly not striving to be a radio-friendly song, whatever that means in 2023, along the lines of his last quote-unquote hits like Steam or Kiss That Frog. I doubt the song will be embraced by the mainstream, if only because the title and the lyrics are a bit more challenging than, say, Sledgehammer. Not to imply in any way that Gabriel should ever cater to the lowest common denominator. At this point, I think it's safe to say he's developed a following that has more discerning tastes, shall we say? I hope you fans take that as a compliment, as it was intended. By and large, I think those fans will actually find the track quite rewarding. Gabriel's voice is in surprisingly fine form here, a promising sign for both the album and tour to come. And for the most part, the band sounds great as well. The version of the song that's been released as a single is called the Bright Side Mix, which implies that perhaps the album version will be somewhat different. I kind of hope that's the case, actually. When the track kicks off, it feels bright in more of a Coldplay way than perhaps I'd prefer. Thankfully, it evolves quickly and develops a nice balance of electronic and organic textures. The acoustic guitar during the choruses does a particularly nice job grounding everything in the real world. And each time I listen, I seem to hear new elements within the mix. Suffice it to say, I'm now quite intrigued to hear what will be revealed with the next full moon. Once again, my name's Kyle, and this has been Track by Track. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Plus, check out some of these other videos below that I think you might also enjoy. And of course, be sure to subscribe, because true music fans always want new releases the day they come out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.